Welcome to our sixth episode of Unlearning Out Loud. Today, I'm with my friend from undergrad, my friend Eddie, who, fun fact, we have matching tattoos. Very fun fact about both of us. But I'm going to pass it right to you to introduce yourself, whatever you feel like sharing.
Sick. Hello, guys. My name is Eddie. What an honor and a privilege to be on a podcast. I feel like once in your adult life, you need to make a feature on a podcast.
Yes, it's on the
it,
checklist.
it's a natural line of passage, and what an honor to be on such an unproblematic podcast. Yes, my name is Eddie. I I'm a little just, I'm trying not to lead with my occupation because I always be like, I'm a
I
social worker. That's
know.
my job. That's my job, nigga. That's what I
But you're
do.
more than that. You're more than your
Exactly.
job.
But in fashion, I'm a social worker in New York City. I'm a supportive housing social worker. I'm a mental health therapist. Now for the fun stuff, I'm an artist. I love going to the gym. I love hanging out with my friends. I love being the guy that says I'm gonna be on barbecue and cooking food for all my friends and making them. I call myself the meat marauder when I'm on that queue. Like I'm burning meats left and right. But no, I'm a father. I have a sweet orange boy. His name is Fuego. He is my pride and joy. um, yeah, I'm originally from New York. I'm from the Bronx. I wear it on my chest, and I love it so much. The Bronx is the best borough in the world, and yeah, that's me.
Dude, hell yeah. I was like thinking when I was like, oh, it would be nice to like reconnect with some of my like Vermont people. Like, who do I think would have a really fun time on the podcast? Like, you were the first person that I thought of because like Eddie is someone who in class, like literally always smiling. Even if he's having a miserable time, he's always smiling. He's always making everybody laugh. And what more could you want in a person, but especially in a podcast guest?
I'm like I'm a jester at my core, dog. I love spreading laughter and joy. I do it in my sessions with clients. I always tell people I love to laugh, and it's also healing to laugh, but it's also time to get serious at points. But especially like mundane environments, like I try not to take myself too seriously. Like if we're in class, why can't we have a little chuckle? Why can't we share a little giggle here and there? And shit
We
be
need
funny, man.
it.
I don't know.
No, it was always appropriate. Sometimes it was like someone would say something that was like really fucking weird, and it would just be like the eye contact shared that would just be like enough. Because something about social work school is that like you have a lot of different personalities, a lot of different reasons that people maybe get into social work. Some are like very pure of heart, and then others are like, I'm gonna like save everyone, and I know that like my righteousness on this path is gonna be, I'm gonna end homophobia and I'm gonna end racism, and everyone is gonna hold hands and get together and kumbaya, and it's a beautiful thing. So it's nice to find a gem of a person in those spaces.
I appreciate there was a lot of social work is a very women predominated field, but also like white women predominantly. What is the word I want here? A
Here I am.
predominantly white woman field. Shout out Sid, but but like with that, I feel like there's the like when we talk about intersectionality, you have white, you have women. One has a privilege, one doesn't. But a lot of people will like lean on the unprivileged parts of their identity when they share like
Yeah.
an identity with people of power, and that often shows through social work of just like this like savior mentality. I'm
Yeah.
gonna solve world hunger. I'm gonna change all the
Yes.
laws ever. I'm gonna have all the diseases so I could check a free the world of the diseases. Like it's always some bullshit, and it never reads as like genuine. And those are usually the folks that I find that have a lot of issues in the field coming in, and
Yeah.
like we're just people helping people, dog. We just know a little bit,
Right.
a little bit in a different field.
Dude, it would for me be the people who are like obviously you don't have to have lived experience to want to get into social work. It always felt like it was coming from a place of like, well, I'm more pure of heart, and I'm gonna be able to fix
Yeah.
these people.
Yeah, I'm an angel. Watch me float to class and offer
Yeah.
shit point of views.
Oh my god. I don't know what your grad school experience was like, but mine was in very similar ways to UVM was very much like who can say the wokest thing in the room in the most intellectual sounding way. And it would just be like people repeating the same thing in different words. And I'd be like, first of all, none of this is authentic. I see your Instagram posts that y'all be making. And two, it just doesn't feel like it's coming from a place of anything other than like, I want to sound smart and I want to sound
Yeah,
woke.
my grad school experience was surprising because, you know, there I went to grad school with a lot of lovely black women and a lot of people different because much different than UVM, which is predominantly white.
Being in
But
Vermont, yeah.
but the fucking Zionists be sticking out, bro. I was in research
Yes.
class one day and my professor was, I don't know why my research professor thought this was a good idea. She was like, "Yo, let's try to we're social workers, right? Let's look at world problems." And honestly, you know, fair. And niggas, you gotta know your audience, bro. Like I'm always, UVM and UVM and Vermont definitely like my foundation of perspective is just to like assume that people have like the best meaning in them, and that in some cases that's subjective, whatever the best is, whatever the case may be. But like UVM, you know who I blame for this? Celia Cuddy. She put in my mind that all social workers are good people. How dare you?
This angel of a woman. No, really though, because she's like literally the epitome of like, because she teaches intro to social work, and you're like, oh my god, this is what social workers are like. That's fucking
Yeah.
awesome. And then you go on, and nobody else is like Celia Cuddy, and you're like, fuck, something
Yo,
was mismatched here.
she came to class day, first day of fall, talking about I was walking here and I live close by, but it's a bit of a distance.
It's like
And
2 miles.
I'm being so facts. I'm being intentional with my morning. I'm looking around. I'm taking the road around me, and a leaf falls, and I see it's changing colors, and it reminds me that there's more on the horizon. It's like it's 8 a.m., bro. How are you this calm?
I love her
But
so much.
I still chat with her every once in a while. I update her in my life. I love Celia.
Because she
But
really
no,
is like that epitome. And it does set you up for failure a little bit.
yo, fact. So like we're in class and our professor is talking about like, oh, she was very much both sidesing it, and I'm not with that. And
No.
she like yeah, and she was like, oh, both people have a right to the land and da 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 da. And then one of my classmates was saying like, well, every time Israel has tried to talk about peace, Palestine has broken it. I'm like, why are you lying? Why why are you telling mistruths? That we got history. I
Like,
could
I
you
know which Twitter accounts you're following.
were you there in '08? What happened? So like that was a whole, and plus like the only other like person in my class that was like arguing against it was another woman of color, and like I'm like, yo,
Mm.
no one gonna help my whole girl out. Nah, you wrong. But I don't like, it's so interesting to me. I like being in grad school here has especially shown me like the social workers in the city that really just like don't mind their privilege, and whether
Mm.
it's like economic or cultural, like it's just you know whatever they're struggling with is the forefront of why they do the work, and it's just disingenuous, I feel like.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. My grad school was at Boston University, which I don't know what I thought, but I was like, I would like to live in Boston for a year to do the program. Boston is fun. I don't know if I thought so much about what the actual program like might look like. Whew. It was like Boston is a very interesting place. Um, it was just so much more of that like stereotype of like rich white lady like coming to
Mm.
like save all the underprivileged people. And in grad school, I just did like a purely macro track. So it was just like program and
Mm,
policy development and like foundations of trauma, but it wasn't clinical focused. So it was
yeah.
interesting how much more of it was just like, hey, like we're looking at systems, but like we need to work in the system to tear it down, which I understand. But so many people in my cohort, I think, and generally in social work, use that like, well, we have to work in the system if we ever want to change anything as a cop out to like, ever
Yeah.
trying to change anything. It really highlights that like in social work, you really need to get a master's degree if you ever want to make more than minimum wage and get a job. But that's so unobtainable to expect people to go to grad school, pay that much money, or put themselves in that much debt.
Grad school was hell for me, bro. Like in hindsight, I got through that shit. Yo, like one, my job was being a dickhead. So I was at a supportive
No.
housing organization. My original program director got a new program and switched over, but she had signed off on my like work and oh, and here comes my son. Say hi, buddy. Yes. My program director changed jobs, and then we had a new one who was my supervisor, who I thought was cool. Turned out to be I don't like this man. He's a
Mm.
sneaky, fake little bitch, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. He still
Ooh.
talks shit about me. Like I occupy so much space in his head. It's so interesting, and nobody agrees with me, so it's funny. All his
Just
critiques
taking
about
up
me are just like
space.
just taking up fucking space, bro, for no reason. So yeah, my internship stipulations were supposed to be, what do you call it? If I'm allowed to do my internship during work hours, right? And my
Yeah.
new program director was being an ass about it. He was like, I don't want you doing anything like not work related during work hours, and I didn't feel like arguing with him. So I'm also going through issues with my relationship at the time. So I'm like getting up at 5 a.m., doing mad shit, going to work, working 8 hours, going to my internship for like 2 or 3 hours, and then going to class on top of that. And it was
That's a
awful. And
lot.
then my knee gave out. My knee. my I had to get surgery.
What'd you tear? Your like meniscus or something?
Worse, patellar. So the are you familiar with the tendons?
Some of them.
So you're this is my foot, you know? Oh wait, hold on, this might be a better angle. So this is my foot, right? This is, foot, ankle, knee. The patellar tendon is right here, and it's what helps your leg bend. So
Dude,
that popped,
no.
and my kneecap shot up like a couple like centimeters, which is not fun. And I couldn't bend my leg, so I had to go to the hospital. I got surgery the following day. The hospitals in New York suck, bro. They had me in the fucking waiting room in the bed like overnight until I
That
got my room.
tracks.
Yeah. And then I got surgery, and then I had this sick scar, and then I got depressed because I couldn't move anymore. And then,
Yeah, that'll do it.
yeah. But now we're back.
Did you
We're
hurt it
so
like in the
back.
gym?
Nah, I was playing ball, and it was crazy because it was a normal day. Like I did it my normal. I worked out in the morning. I stretched before, and like on a drive, I tried to like cross my leg like on a two step, but I've done that a million times. But I guess like I put too much pressure. Like I say that I exerted more force than my body can handle, and
Damn.
my like the tension release. I thought somebody tripped me. Like I hit the ground. I was mad. I was like, who the fuck tripped me? And then I was like, oh, I can't get up. And I'm here like,
No.
oh, my knee's dislocated. I gotta pop it back into place. But like, I'm like, I can't move this shit. And when I do, it's an excruciating pain.
Dude, that sounds
So yeah,
awful. That's
it
like
was. You're
whenever I
correct.
see someone tear their Achilles in basketball, it just looks like the most standard move. Like they're not doing anything crazy, but you see like the landing. Ugh,
Yeah.
it
And
grosses me out.
the worst part too is like whatever like muscle your tendon is attached to after it pops, that muscle atrophies. So it just gets super fucking weak. So I had like mismatched legs. Like one of my thighs was this thick
Damn.
and then the other one was this thick. I had that for like a good, they're still like not fully matched. Like you can still tell if you look closely enough, but they're in a much better place, I'll say.
They're recovering.
Shout out the
That's
gym.
so hard.
It is like so ever since I started. So fun fact is actually transition. So after my surgery, for some reason like art clicked in my brain for like I don't know why. I've always been drawing on and
Okay.
off when I was younger, but like coming out of the anesthesia, the creative part of my brain unlocked, and I was like, oh, that's how shadows and midtones and highlights work. So I started
Mm.
drawing, but with that comes marketing your art, and that shit fucking
Yeah.
sucks. There's like,
Dude.
oh, make your process video of like you drawing. Fuck.
No, literally, it is the worst part, like, the social media part of literally, like, anything like that. I'm like, "You what do you mean I can't just, like, do my art or, like, talk to people and post it and not have to market it or, like, clip it or edit it or use CapCut?"
Right. I don't like this, and like I should be able to just post because like I use Procreate and it will like track your drawing process on the whatever file you use. I should just be able to post that with some music. Enjoy. Like why do you what more
Why
do
is
you
that
want from
not
me?
enough?
Right. It's just
That's so
leave me out
true.
of it.
See, that's, like, a good actual, like, self-care thing, though. Not to bring it back to social work school, but I feel like in social work jobs, social work school, there was like self care. What are you doing to take care of yourself while we're like traumatizing you and everything sucks and everything is hard
Yeah.
and we give you no time off or time to breathe or think or do anything? Like trying to find what that actually looks like because they're like they pretend that they're not. Even whether it's school or work, they're like, "Oh, self-care is more than taking a bubble bath and eating a piece of cake and going for a walk." Like, it's more than journaling. But then they don't actually talk about, like, self-care practices or how that's actually different for everyone. Like, I went through a phase on my iPad where I was doing, like, color by number that shit was
Mhm.
beautiful. But the line between, like, being an actual self-care activity and, like, mindlessly playing on my tablet for, like, hours at a time, w that's a thin line of self-care and, like, being,
Oh
like,
yeah.
a dangerous thing.
No, like I I reflected on this because as you age, you get different perspectives. That was something that I had wrote and like written about in college. One of in our research class, one of my research proposals was like rethinking self care for like for Black communities and like how that looks for them because like yoga doesn't always work and like sure it doesn't work
Yeah,
for everybody, but like sometimes taking these like very general self-care things that like do have like because like the core like if we boil it all down it's mindfulness, it's like slowing down,
right.
it's looking at the road around you and shit. Same with drawing, like I'm drawing a fucking basketball net right now and I never realized how the lattices work until now
Yeah,
and it sucks,
yeah.
but it is making me slow down and it is good, it is intentional. And like when you take these shits of just like taking a deep breath or like doing a face
Yeah.
mask isn't gonna work, it kind of like just demonizes it when it's like, those should be helping, bro. Like sometimes after a long day, I need me a little blunt, a little face mask, a
Yeah.
little face scrub. I throw on some Love Island or some or whatever I'm watching, and just chill. Like everything in moderation. Like sometimes it needs to
Yeah.
be the bullshit. Like because it's unfortunate. I tell this to my clients all the time that like unfortunately, sometimes the answer is just getting a good night's sleep, drinking more water, and eating right.
No,
Like
literally.
that will be a very good foundation, and then you move from there.
No, and I figured out that, like, not sleeping for, like, 12 hours, like, sleeping till 12 o'clock and, like, getting up and being productive, moving my body and drinking water, like, actually did make me feel a little bit better. That was good, but it was annoying.
It was like, why were you guys right? This is not. It's hard to do, but it's pretty easy instructions.
No, it seems like it should be easy.
I have I ordered a bunch of these like mail stickers from USPS. I
Oh,
have like
yeah, yeah,
500
yeah.
of these.
Are you
They're
gonna
free.
draw them? Like, am I gonna make stickers out of
So
them?
not I mean they are stickers and they do stick, but that was not the intention. But like, yo, it's been a great time, bro. I drew this tree.
Oh,
I drew this deer.
I like the deer.
I drew Jake the dog. I drew Thrag.
Wait.
I drew the penguin. I drew this guy. I drew this guy. It's a good time, bro.
Dude, hell yeah. Wait, that's awesome.
This is my like mid-session fidget when I'm waiting for a client to like load up in Zoom. I'm just like real quick.
Dude, it's I, like, think about sometimes because there was a brief period after grad school that I was, like, a substitute teacher in a middle school, which was
Fire.
crazy. But I think about the different, like, fidget toys and, like, stuff that they have and how they're able to, like, doodle on paper and stuff while the teacher's talking and that's, like, okay and accepted. I'm like, "Wow, imagine what that would have done for my brain when I was a kid." If I was able to have a little fidget toy or, like, didn't get yelled at for doodling in the margins of my paper.
Yo, I have this one client that like he's 7 and his dad is very much like that person. Like he'll be in the chair and I'm talking to him and he's a kid, so he's just like, fidgeting in his chair, he's like getting on his
Yeah.
legs and shit and trying to get comfortable on the spot or whatever the fuck. And his dad is like, sit still, look him in the eye when you're talking to him. Stop playing with your hand. It's like
Oh.
I can I can hear him just fine, bro. So like and it's also why, like, I love my job too. Like, I love therapy. Like, unlike the people we were talking about at the beginning, I got into social work for actually righteous and lovely reasons.
Because 'Cause I'm better than
No, I got
everyone and I have true intentions.
exactly. No one's intentions are better than mine. These fucking chuds. No, I got into social work because I was originally in computer science, and that them tests
I
was
didn't know
beating my
that about
ass.
you.
Fun fact, I was a CS major. I was nasty on Python, Shen. I was going crazy on Python. And then the test came. Cause bro, like why are we in CS class and the test is handwritten? Give me a computer. Let me show you how I get down, bro. Let me show you how I really do this. Put me out in the field. Let me show you how I get money. But I switched to social work because as I'm like, I've always been very pragmatic. So I'm like, what are my skills? What am I good at? I love listening to people, and like I'm really good at just like sitting and hearing people talk. And at that time, I was like, I give good advice, but then as you become a social worker, you learn it's less about advice and just more about listening. But as
Facts.
I'm like developing in the field, I love people's stories, bro. And I love just hearing like how people get to where they are. And I love working with kids. They're like these little
Aw.
guys, they don't understand anything. All the kids are worried about their aura right now and going
Yeah.
they, they don't want to go into aura debt. And I feel them and like it's such like a good because I'm like a little nerd. I'm chronically online. So I'll speak their language too. I'm like, yo, you so focused on your aura, but the people that really got aura don't think about that. It just happened. They're themselves. Like cool shit happens to cool people. Just be yourself.
And you know they eat that up.
Yo, I had one client. He's like, yo, why you right, bro? Like, why you? uh, But even with that, it comes like advocacy for kids. Like, sometimes kids are afraid to talk to their parents. And I remember being that
Yeah.
kid of just like not knowing the word to say and being really afraid of it. So like, making that safe space for
Yeah.
them, you'd be like, yo, whatever is said in here, unless you plan on hurting yourself or others, I'm
Right.
not going to tell nobody else. Like, if you
Yeah.
plan on hurting yourself,
Then
sorry,
we
pal,
got a
don't do
problem and I have to tell.
that. That is a big problem. No. But if you're like, if you're just like, sometimes my dad get on my fucking nerves and that nigga piss me off and it's why I throw tantrums, and let's talk about it. You Good with that.
Right. And it's so important for kids to have that space. Because I feel like it's so much more normal now for people, but especially kids, to like go to therapy. Even
Yeah.
when I was a kid, it was very like, oh, you go to therapy? Why? What's wrong with you? Which is crazy because, like, we're not that old. Like, I'm about to be 27, but I'm not that old.
My friend keeps telling me we pushing 30, and I'm like, fam, 3 years is a long time. Like, chill.
Yeah, dude. We're doing okay. But it's so
Exactly.
funny. Like, kids, I love working with kids because they're so blunt, whether it's like them calling you fatty, whether they're asking you like why you look like a man, or they're just like really open and they're like, oh, like, I don't think it's okay when people like say mean words to other kids. And I'm like, period. Like, you're right. It's not okay. We talk a lot about like red flags. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Like, that is a red flag. And the kids will be like, is it a red flag if you're like scared to go home? I'm like, yeah, babe, that is a red flag. Do you want to talk about it? Like, when you give them the language to like, actually be able to talk about things in a way where it's not like
Yeah.
weird or taboo for them to be talking about it, like, they're so open. they're so cute.
Yeah, like you can't like if you're trying to make a kid do something, you're never gonna see who they are, and like
Right.
it, you gotta like if they're weird, let them be weird. I got this one kid that he's a little weirdo. He whenever he gets uncomfortable, he like changes voices and acts like he's from like the 1950s or some shit,
I
and
feel like I do
like.
that.
but like he tries to like it's not DID. He's actually bullshitting me. But like he tries to like don he tries to like don a new personality in that moment, and like it's not. I'm always just like take a deep breath and like, can I talk? Can I talk to my
Recenter.
guy, please? Can I? I don't have use for you right now. I'm sorry. Can I talk to my guy? We were in the middle of a conversation.
Can you bring him back?
You play into their bullshit a little bit, but
Yeah,
like
you have to.
it, you got to be kids where they're at, and I remember being the kid that was like very quiet, very shy, didn't like to talk, and only when I was like comfortable with somebody, and then that took forever to happen. So like I very much tried to be like the adult that I wish I ran into when I was younger.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this guy's kind of nice, and he's a little weird. He wears Birkenstocks to work sometimes, but he's a chill guy.
But I like him anyway.
I had one client. I thought I knew like the relationship was building. I come get him. I'm like, yo, fake name, and then I'll come back and shit. And I hear him chuckling, and I'm like, are you laughing at my Birkenstocks? He's like, yo, why are you wearing those? Like, I like to be comfortable. Sorry, pal. That you gotta wear shoes all the time. I'm not.
How freeing is that?
Right. He's like, this so cringe. I'm like, to be cringe is to be free. I have no one telling me what to do.
Dude. I was teaching a class of like second graders and a kid like shares something. I don't even know what it was. But one of the other kids was like, ew, that's embarrassing. And the second grader goes, it's only embarrassing if I'm embarrassed and I'm not.
Hmm.
I was
That's
like,
cold. They cold.
dude, I was like, write that down, write that down. That's so good.
Yo, he ate that little one. He ate that little one.
He did. I literally, like, the quotes I hear from working with different populations, my favorite from working with the guys in the jail, we were talking about, like, homophobia, as you do. So we're talking about, like, the triangle of violence and how it's rooted and, like, racism, homophobia, all the isms. And like we were talking about like why would someone like have a problem if they like ran into like a gay couple? Why would they be so upset about that? And this guy goes, I don't really know, because what they eat isn't gonna make me shit. I was like, dude, I've never heard that before. Like, that's so
Yeah.
good. I literally wrote it down.
Yeah.
I was like,
What they eat don't make me shit.
that's so good. What good perspective to have.
I've been trying to like, because I feel like people can just articulate themselves in such a way that's like so like profound, and it'd be the simplest shit. And like something
Yeah.
that I found myself like, because I'm trying to say no to more things,
Mm.
and that's very difficult. But I just find myself falling back on like, dog, this shit not moving me right now. it don't
Oh.
it don't give me life. Like it's not moving me. I don't feel any emotion behind this
Is
decision
that
right
bringing
now.
me joy?
Like I saw everything everywhere all at once. This shit don't make me feel those feelings.
Oh, that movie.
Fuck, yo, that's my favorite film, bro. I was watching it last night, and I couldn't even get to the part where I started crying, yo. I was right there, though. I was right there. It's such a good monologue.
It is. It hits every time. I watched that movie for the first time. I was visiting one of my friends from UVM in Chicago, and it was like him, his girlfriend, like two of his roommates and their friends, and I had never seen the movie before, and I like kind of knew that it was like gonna be good, but I didn't know how like emotional it was gonna make me. Everyone's like, oh, this is cool. And I'm like fucking bawling. And at one point, one of my friend's roommates looked at me and was like, are you okay? And I was like, just leave me alone. I actually can't.
I was like,
Dude.
please. Oh.
I was like, wasn't prepared for that. If I knew it was gonna be like that, I would have watched it in the safety of my home.
if you
Dude,
want like a really good I Love My Mom movie, The Wild Robot, bro.
I love
Oh,
that movie.
oh, oh my God,
It's
yo,
so good.
I cannot watch that movie and not cry, bro. I love that movie, yo.
Dude, I saw that movie by myself at an AMC. And I was like, it was like me and like one other family in the theater, and I literally, oh, it's so cute.
Yo, when she said, I've been rewiring my programming for months for this, I was like, yeah, that's really motherhood, bro. This shit, this is such great writing.
Dude,
Oh
and
my
it was such
God.
beautiful art. We watched The Sheep Detectives last night.
Oh my God, I need to watch that.
It's on Amazon Prime, which,
Oh, I
I
have
have
Prime.
feelings about
Lovely.
Jeff Bezos, but like, I thought I cried
We getting it.
3 separate times. Like, not even like, oh, I'm wiping a tear away. Like, tears are falling down my face while I'm watching it. It was so good. Are you fucking
Yeah, we
kidding me?
getting.
After you watch it, you have to text me.
I will no, because I heard that it's like people thought it was a cutesy movie, and then it gets to like complex themes about grief, and like
Yes.
I'm like, oh, I like that.
Oh
Oh
my
my God.
God. It was nuts, dude. And like the last shot of the movie, dagger in the heart. I was like, oh, I thought it was just gonna be about like sheep that are detectives. And they are, and they're
Yeah,
good detectives, but it really hurt
they
me.
are. Yo, ever since college, I've been becoming like a baby cinephile. Like I have a letterbox account, and I
I
be
do too.
reviewing movies. Yo, I mean a letterbox, bro. Boy 568. I give out a lot of fives.
No, I literally, I'll
My
be like, it wasn't that good, but I had a really good time. 5 stars.
Nah, me like if I like a movie but I know it's bad, I'll make that known. Like Fantastic Four, the second one or the first one, is like objectively kind of shit, but boy is it a good time. But my bio on Letterboxd is: do I give it a lot of fives or do I only watch peak?
It's all about intentional framing.
Exactly. But no, yo, everything everywhere, like, 'cause we were talking about like being a jester earlier. I relate to Waymond like heavily, bro.
He is so
Like
cute.
I love him so much. Like when, my first time, because I had to watch that movie to really like understand the multiverse hopping shit, and like
Yeah.
I can explain it. It's like the back of my hand. Like it's good now. And like once I got that, I'm like, all right, now for the themes. And the characters are so complex. Everybody has their own like journey. And that part when she was from the kung fu reality and they both parted
Yeah.
ways and reconnected. Yo, that monologue he gave her brought tears. Oh my God, bro. Yo, he said you thought I was weak, but I just fight different. Ah, so good, bro. So good.
He's so sweet. He's
I
underrated. He's
love
an
him.
underrated guy.
I love good dads in media. He's like as a fatherless child, it always touches my heart. Much
Dude.
fatherless behavior for me.
Every once in a while, I see like discourse about like good sitcom dads. I don't know if you've seen Modern Family, but Phil Dunphy is
Uh,
always on that list, and he's like a good dad, but a really shitty husband. Like he always has wandering eyes and like doesn't appreciate his wife. Like just because he's funny doesn't mean he's a good dad.
it's like the sitcom dad is so interesting because it's like the stereotypical American dream of like 3 kids. I hate my wife, and like
Yes.
I really appreciate sitcoms like That's So Raven because like you really don't get that. It's just like, oh, these Raven's parents and they don't play. They love her.
There's not a lot of that. I feel like you said that and I was thinking of like Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, where like where is their
But they
dad?
don't have a dad.
Does he
Yo,
ever like
Kim,
guest star?
nah, yo, single
Right?
mother. I think there was an episode about it one time, like that he was supposed to be coming but never did, and that's how you learn he wasn't shit. But I may be like like
I think you're right,
fabricating my
though.
memory.
I think you're right. No,
I may
because
be
I
lying to
remember
myself.
seeing, like, the actress that plays their mom was like, "No, like, those are my kids, like, I took care of those kids."
And they loved her. Like there was I think it was Cole or Dylan, I forget which one, but like one of the executive producers wanted him to say a joke, because Kim, like the actress was pregnant at the time, Kim Rhodes, and they were like, "Oh, tell her she's getting fat," and she was like, "I would never disrespect that woman. If you want me to say it, write something funny." I'm like, "Okay, little nigga, okay, that's what I'm talking
Dude.
about."
The amount of, like, fat shaming, like, jokes and stuff and that era of TV is crazy. Like, I rewatched Hannah Montana recently, and, like, every other episode is something about how someone is, like, really, really fat. And mind you, none of them are fat. So
They're
it's
like 120.
nuts. Dude, literally, like, it's always about Billy Ray Cyrus, which, like, I'm pretty sure he's not the best. Don't cancel me, but I've
Nah,
heard he's not the best guy. So, like, but he's not fat. He's tall.
you know my barometer. Maybe don't date somebody your daughter's age. Just a thought.
And he met
Just
her
a
on the
thought.
set of Hannah Montana when she was a
Just a
kid.
thought. You know, he may describe himself as a patient man, and other people may look at it differently.
Just because it's legal doesn't mean it's okay.
Yeah, I'm really strict about my dating preferences. I got me and my partner parted ways like a year and a half ago, and that was like my longest term
Okay.
relationship. We were together for like 6 years, and
Yeah.
so now I'm like exploring my wants and needs as an adult and learning how to date, and it is I'm so black. It's such a process, bro.
How is it? Are you on the apps and stuff? Because it's bleak. I
I'm on,
don't know about the city, but it's bleak.
I'm on Field. It's cool. Like
What is
Field will
that?
show me. Field is so I'm very sex positive, and like it's a sex positive dating app. You know, freak
Okay.
looking for freaks is how I would describe it.
That's
And
cool. I'm glad they
it's
have an app for
interesting.
that.
They do. And like I've met a couple people on there. One person I've been talking to for a minute, but it's like I don't know. I don't know if it was like a Gemini thing, but like I'm genuinely just like I don't feel like engaging in this way with people at this point in my life right now. Like, you
Mm.
know, after I've been in and out of relationships like most of my life, and like I just kind of I love my friendships right now, bro. Like I'm so fulfilled in my friendships, and it's been so nice just doing stuff with the
Aw.
homies. Like
Yeah.
me and you may know her, but she was in our social work program. Me and or she was a year ahead of us in social work. Me and Amanda went to emo night the
I
other
knew you
night.
were about to
We
say that. Yeah, I know her.
Yeah. We went to the brewery, like me and my other friends had a barbecue last weekend. We got some shit planned in the summertime. I'm going to Atlantic
Aw.
City next weekend with some friends. Like
Okay.
dating don't fulfill me like that outside of sex. And so like finding people with that common mind and like us being on
Yeah.
the same page makes life a lot, makes it easier. And like sometimes people be on the same page at first and then,
Yeah.
switch up in the at some point afterwards. And
That's
it's
true.
life. What are you gonna do? You can't hold it against them.
No, but it's important to, like, find that fulfillment in other, like, types of relationships. Hi, Johnny.
Oh my god! It's Charlie! God, we got Grace! Oh my god! He's an old
Charlie was an
boy!
honorary member of our cohort at UVM.
Oh!
I
You can
know
see
you, Charlie.
my sweet boy mogging in the background. He's such a little
Jordan.
baby. Oh my god!
He's
We
seven
love
and a
Charlie,
half
bro.
now. Isn't that crazy?
Oh, yes! Oh my god! I remember you when you was about this big.
Dude, literally, I'm like, he was our, like, collective child.
Oh my god. Everybody loves a doodle.
They do. I was talking to someone about how I would, like, bring him to class every once in a while, and, like, I would specifically bring him past, like, the daycare they had on campus, and all the kids would press their faces up against the fence and be like, "Oh my god."
I want Fuego was like the shyest guy ever. He's a
Yeah.
scaredy cat by trade. And I wanna like take him everywhere with me. I got him a leash. I want to take him on walks, but like he's just so scared and he doesn't like to be closed.
No.
But my one of my friends was like, "Oh, you just want attention. You try to pick up women." I'm like, I love this guy. I want to
That
spend
would just be
every
an
waking
added
moment.
plus.
I just I just want to spend every waking moment with him. He's so fucking cool.
No, literally, I'm like, when I have to like actually go to work, I'm like, you want me to leave my kids? Like, what do
At
you
home
mean?
alone, I
Like, and
always
now
tell him I'll be back.
I'm like, I'm gonna be back probably around like 2:30. Like, I literally will like tell him the time. I'm like, so that's about like
Facts.
6.5 hours from now. I
Get
just
your
need him
rest.
to
I know you're a sleepy
know.
guy.
And he is. We got a cat like a year ago. I don't know where he is.
Oh,
It's really surprising that he hasn't been like right here yelling in my face. He his name is Louis, short for Lucifer, because he is legitimately demonic. He like really
love
tricked
that.
us at the shelter, like being so cute and quiet, and he like
Oh.
legitimately doesn't stop meowing. Like he he it's not just like cute little like spurts of meowing, like it's like I'm screaming in your face. Yes. And he like literally never settles. He never sleeps. Like he is like one of one. Like he is insane. And I love him, but he's nuts. Like it's
But
actually making me nervous that I don't know where he is.
me and my son we're out here doing PR, right? Like I'm a Gemini and we have terrible PR. He's an orange tabby, also terrible PR. They
That's
call him
true.
crazy. They call him wild, rambunctious even. The sweetest the sweetest baby. He wakes up. Yeah, he's not even like vocal, bro. Like he only meows when it's time to eat, and he demands to be fed. Like, or if I'm like laying in bed for too long, he'll like start meowing to get my attention. But he's like, and his meow is so cute. I'm like, what do you want, my little king? How can I serve you?
No,
Oh,
my
I love
coworker
him.
also has like a gray cat because that's what Louis is, and he is also crazy, maybe like a tenth as crazy as my gray cat, but crazy nonetheless. And we'll literally be like, no, like I think gray cats are the crazy ones, and like orange cats just get a bad rep. Like I think it's the gray cats we need to worry about.
Facts. I want all animals with bad reps. Give me the pit bulls. Give me the Rottweilers. Give me the babies, because I see who they are beneath it all.
Give them to
I know
me.
you.
I
You
will
just want
look
to be loved.
beyond.
It's the social worker in me. You're just a little guy. We're all just little guys, regardless of gender. And, I've been trying to like, we can't be giving our values and shit in the session. However, life is real. So whenever I hear something that like, whenever one of my clients be like, "Oh, these damn women and their emotions and shit," like, my question is always just like, "Yo, how does that opinion like impact like affect your social life? Like when other people
Yeah.
hear you say that, who are you afraid to say that around?"
Ooh, that's how you know you're a good therapist. It's the
Yo, I
polite
try.
challenging of like, oh, like, so why do you think that? Like, literally, one of the guys in my class, he was going on and on about how he, like, tells his daughters, because he has, like, 12 kids and 6 daughters and 6 sons. Yeah, I don't know about all that. But he's like, he was going on about how he
For
tells
what?
I don't know. I don't know who's taking care of them. But he's like, oh, I tell all my daughters like how to protect themselves and like how to dress modestly and how to like not get raped and not get catcalled and all these things. And I like interrupted him and was like, can I ask you a question? He's like, yeah. I'm like, so do you tell your sons like the same thing? And he was like, I never thought about that before.
I had not considered that one.
I was like,
Interesting.
"Oh, okay. No, I didn't. I don't want to like push. I was just wondering if it was a conversation you only had with your daughters and not your sons." And he was like, maybe I need to calm my sons up. I was like,
I love when like you catch the wrong person and just like, are you challenging like my thought? Yeah, actually,
I am
you
politely,
got me.
and I'll back off. So,
If you get uncomfortable, we can stop. But if this is a repeated issue, yeah, we're gonna talk about it.
yeah, because we're always like, I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna be like, oh, can I ask you a question? You don't have to
Mm.
answer. And they're like, yeah, I'm not gonna back down from a question. And then sometimes they get really like defensive. I don't know. It's fun though. I like to be I like to be the challenger, and I like because like with facilitating you can't like similarly you can't share like your morals or opinions, and sometimes they get really
Yeah.
heated and like want to know what I think. And so I'm like, well, I can tell you like after the session is over if you still want to know, or I can tell you like a super binary like as women a lot of the times this is what we think, or like a woman might say this being the
Mm.
only woman in a room. um but sometimes they're like they get like really heated. Like one of my first classes in the jail, a guy was like, well, let me ask you a question, and I'm like, you can try. And he was like, if you were dating a guy for like 5 or 6 years, and 5 or 6 years into the relationship, he calls you a stupid fucking bitch, would you break up with him? And I said, well, me personally, yeah, I'm not gonna put up with that. And he was like, well, that's not fair. You're the like healthy relationships teacher. And I was like, then why did you ask me?
It's
Like
like, well,
literally.
yeah, that's not a healthy relationship.
And he was like, that's not fair. Most women, they're not gonna like do anything. Cause his whole thing was like, women need to like stick up for themselves. Like, if their boyfriend hits them, they need to like hit back or like stand up for themselves. And I was like, well, what do you think would happen most of the time if a woman like does stand up for herself or does like try to hit back? Do you think that a man's gonna back off, or do you think that he's gonna come down on her like 10 times more? And he was like, well, yeah, but they should try.
Yeah. I love like a little compliment sandwich because I think,
Yeah.
and back to social work and Celia, they like I like to assume that at people's core they think they're making the right decision.
Yeah.
And when I hear your guys say that, my first thought is like, well, that's stupid. Why the fuck would they do that? But then like my second thought is like, he has he sees the potential in women of not being these like small creatures that can't defend themselves, and he is
Yeah.
trying to like push for that just in a not so correct way, and we can work with that because that's
Yeah.
great. Not many people have that.
We can build off of that. Like,
I think jail is a great place for like people to explore the like intricacies that exist in like hetero relationships, or there's nothing heteronormative about jail at all. So like,
no.
why would we even like why would we try to enforce that while we're here?
When I tell people who like my family or like people who don't do social work at all or like are very like anti working with people that are incarcerated, I'm like, oh no, I love going to the jail. It's like my favorite program. The looks, like these people will look at me and be like, you said you like to go to jail and work with the scary men who are in jail. What's wrong with you? I'm like, no, like you said, you gotta like look at the humanity of the people. Like, they're so
Exactly.
real. They're so fun.
Yo, I've been having to cope with the fact that some women view me as a scary man, and it has been, you know, I view myself as a little guy. However, not everybody sees me the way I do, so I have to be very mindful of that.
No, it's interesting because it's like I think a lot of women do have that like general like you are man, men's scary. You are scary men. If A plus A
I get
equals
it.
B. But you gotta like my friends and I sometimes would be like, no, like men start off down here and they need to like prove their way like up the ladder. They gotta
Hmm.
earn it. Is that
Exactly.
right? But that's like something we talk about in the jail too. Like we're like, oh, like 90% of like violence against people is like committed by like men, but does that mean that
Mm.
90% of men are violent? No. And what's fun is like reading them the stats of like, because they're always like, oh, well, women abuse men too, which like is true, but like I think it's
Yeah.
like 85% of crimes or like violent crimes against men are perpetrated by other men.
Mhm.
So the common denominator being men. And
Yeah.
they don't always like
And
that.
and like it's always like, yes, this exists. However, in counter to this point, what's the point here?
No,
What are you
exactly.
trying to like? Are you trying to nullify what I'm trying to say? Are you trying to bring awareness? Is this the only time you talk about this?
Right, because it's the same thing when they're like, "Oh, well, if a woman can hit a man, then, like, a men should hit women." Like, it's like you only bring up violence against men as, like, a caveat to talking about, like, violence against women, then, like, you're just using it as, like, a, "Oh, but what about this?" Like
There, there's this thing I've been observing recently, right? And it's like I'm keeping track of the waves of feminism, and I'm noticing I have a graph, and the waves, the waves were turbulent. But I wonder, and this is just like in my immediate area of New York, but I'm seeing that there's like a wave of feminism like this forming that is circling back to conservative values about like how
It
women
is.
should be treated in society, and it's like terrifying because I was like,
It
guys,
is.
where did what happened?
No, everything is like a circle, like, it somehow always, like, ends up going back around, and it's like some of that, like, trad wife stuff. Even, like, on social
Yeah,
media, I'm like, "Hey, so that's scary." I don't know why you would subscribe to that. It's weird.
yeah. I had this one person I was dating last year, and she was very much like on like her point of view was women are so like behind in society due to like the patriarchy that men should want to take care of them and to do these things and like where it makes me question like where does your autonomy come from and like
Right.
when do you like pursue your joys, what are your hobbies, who are you, like it's so I don't know, I can't do it. It also just feels very paternal. I'm nobody's father. Except for this little sleepy
Except for
guy
this
over
man right
here.
here.
Except for this young man, this young handsome boy who I just woke up from his nap. But nah, it's so interesting. Like and like I try to like have because it's hard to like have these reflections and not feel like an incel because like I
I know
don't
what you mean.
like I'm trying to tote the line. I'm just like, hey guys, men's rights, but like wait, not like that. Wait, no.
Wait, listen.
Like
No, it
I've been trying to
is.
have like like some of my friends here, like I love them to death, and they still have their own views that like we have clashed with at times, and that's just friendship at times, as long as it's not
Yeah.
about anybody's human rights, like we can have disagreements, but it's like, yo, I be explaining to my men, like my friends, how like sometimes it feels very dehumanizing being viewed as like just a man. Like, do you know I like to draw? Do you know
Yeah.
that I enjoy gardening and plants? Like, there's more to me than my exterior. How dare
Yeah.
you? And my friends come like usually respond with something that's like, yeah, that's why it would be X, Y, and it's like,
Whoa.
I'm like,
Pause.
I'm, I'm like, I'm like Limp Bizkit.
I'm gonna add that overlay in the clip.
Yo, and
Yeah.
it's like I get there's this value in those conversations because there are like really residual feelings for like certain men and like how like
Yeah.
whenever like I hear women talk about like scary violent men, and like I have some of my friends that I know view me as that. It's like, well, dog, I would like to think that you know me enough to know that like that's not how
Right.
I view you. Like, do you view me as a friend or a man? Like, or that
Right.
hurts.
And I think a part of it too is like you kind of have to think from other people's perspectives that are like weird or harmful or bad to like try and understand like where they're coming from. Even if it's
Yeah,
wrong, I feel like it's important to like reflect and be like, well, how do we get there? Like, why do they think
yeah,
that? What's the impact of them thinking that? Like, I think that's an important piece to unpack too. A lot of big picture
absolutely.
stuff.
Like, they're not just like there for no reason. Like shit around them led them to this thought, and like,
Right.
and at the core is just like ensuring their survival and ensuring their safety. Like you mentioned before, like trying to have this like barometer for men of just like they have to earn their way up, and
Yeah.
like as a man, I have the privilege of having no expectations for people, and then once they upset me, I can navigate it from there. And some people don't have that privilege. Sometimes like
Yeah.
navigating it from there means life or death, and like that's just life,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah, it's like where you start out based on the different, like, identities that you hold. Like you said, some people it's like, "No, I operate on that system because it's, like, for my safety." Like, it could be, like, a life or death thing. And then there are some people who are just, like, haters of people because of their identities, whether they're, like, woman haters, man haters. Because like, I think there's, like, legitimate people who are, like what's that called? Like, a misandrist? That's, like, the opposite of a misogynist.
Yeah, this is a funny, disgusting story. When I was younger, me and my cousins were we found this like this advertising shit of like beer, and it was just like this metal plaque that you could hang up on the wall, and it was advertising like Corona, I think. And we were playing a game to where we would spit at each other, and then you would have to use the beer thing to block it. And I was like, "This is fucking disgusting. What are y'all doing?"
You're like, "This includes bodily fluids, and we're done."
No, save bodily fluids for the bedroom, man. This is nasty. Why are you spitting on your man? That's so great.
That's such a kid thing to do, though, like
Facts. Like you don't know any better. Like, yo, guys, what if we
no.
just spit at each other?
Like, what a fun game to play.
Yuri.
Tag.
You can't get
Listen,
me. You can't spit that far. You're not hydrated.
you're not hydrated. That's good.
Fuck. Bad
Okay,
games. Don't play that.
d come up be more creative. Come up with games that don't include bodily fluids, please. Um
if, if nothing else from today.
Literally, it's funny because I was looking at the time and I was like, "Okay, what's one thing you wanna leave people with other than that?"
Yo, one thing I want to leave people with. Yo, scratch that joy itch, man. Like, laugh, have fun, do cool shit. Like, if you have an idea that seems like it's joyful and joyous, do it. And if you don't know what to do, look in your inner child, because that little guy knows some stuff that you may have forgotten. Yeah, I recently rediscovered the joys of just like going to a park and looking at the sky. I was
Oh.
f- fire, bro. Like I did like an eighth of mushrooms, mind you. That helped. But just looking up at the sky, the clouds are shifting. I thought I saw the thunder god. I took a picture of him. I'm pretty
I
sure
found
that's who
him,
I saw.
guys.
Cause yo, every person that I've shown this picture to sober has been like, I see it. Yeah, you weren't bugging. But like there's so much like little things in life. Like you need joy. There's so much sad shit happening. Like the external world can be so scary. If you can try to make your immediate bubble as nice as possible, so you have something good to return to. By all means, find a way.
Dude, hell yeah. Well, I appreciate you for coming on. This was the first episode I did, like, at my house with all my Legos and stuff in the background. So,
That's what those are. We have the same shelf. Yours is just in like a row taller than mine.
Tarjay, baby.
Tarjay.
Yeah, so thank you. This was our 6th episode. I'll put a little screenshot of the Instagram, and I'll see y'all next time.